terrenos y polígonos ocultos a la misma vez. Sí, solamente los polígonos hemos estado usando.
The foundation of our development principles really dictate that clients have needs, requests, they communicate them to us. We do a lot of outreach to our clients to try and determine if we've given them what they need. And what we found, working with one large client site on a project to integrate some of his data, was that we were lacking a real consistent tool to allow us to analyze, report disparate type of data, and then to also measure the performance of the mine. Well, historically what we've seen is people tried to manage this data with spreadsheets. And time again, we find that there were different versions of the same spreadsheet laying around. There was someone who was expert in the development of those spreadsheets. Lo and behold, they leave, then nobody's there to support it. The MineSight Performance Manager is a standalone utility that leverages data that's been gathered by the MineSight Axis operational suite of utilities and tools. It really gives us the capacity not only to tell what happened, but why it happened through the advanced dashboards and analytics that we have with it. A good case in point would be my rock type or rock size. My rock size is not conducive to my load rate. Why? Is it because I'm not loading the right explosives? So it really gives us the insight into why things happened as opposed to just what. It brings everything together. It allows engineers and geologists to be engineers and geologists. It doesn't force us to do clerical work, it replaces that. There's a common phrase in business intelligence and data warehousing called one version of the truth. What that's really saying is every decision maker along the decision chain is working from the same set of data. MineSight Performance Manager integrates very closely with other tools within the MineSight suite. MineSight Axis is really the data gatherer, data modeler, data manipulator to provide that data to the MineSight Performance Manager. And then it's essentially a reader of data that has been developed by MineSight tools, such as the MineSight Schedule Optimizer, when we're looking at our production compliance, plan versus actual. We access the schedule provided by the Schedule Optimizer to determine if we're following our plan correctly, and if we're not, what the benefits or downfalls are of doing that. What will be the impact of not following the plan? Since we're now getting data in what could almost be considered real time in the mining world, we can easily change things as conditions change in the field. A good example that we ran into at one of the sites was the fact that they had hole quality issues where when the explosives crew got there, the hole was plugged and they couldn't load explosives. This information was logged into their data system. We accessed that data system. Immediately the engineers in the office saw that there was a plugged hole there, so they were able to communicate back to the field, to the blasting crew, that they needed to change their explosive amount in holes surrounding that plugged hole. The operational processes are improved in that we can start looking at cause and effect. In other words, my rock size, my P80 in mining parlance, is not what we need it to be for the type of process. You want a bit smaller rock for your mill, a bit larger rock for your leach, things of that nature. So then we can take and analyze why. Is it only in certain geologic conditions this is happening? Is it only when we use certain explosive types and or amounts? Is my burden and spacing what it needs to be to achieve the desired rock size, or again, P80? There are other systems out there that claim to do what MineSight Performance Manager does. The big difference between them and us is that they give the what, and we give not only the what, but the why. Another key differentiator is that their reports are based on third-party systems. A good example would be Microsoft Report Designer and SQL Server reporting services, where ours is self-contained. One of the main things that the MSPM does is to eliminate the need of clerical work in gathering data from a multitude of different sources and then putting it into a spreadsheet or cobbling several spreadsheets together to try and determine what really happened. Another big instance where MSPM helps is that it leverages the investment that some mines have made into different technologies such as truck shovel fleet management systems, drill fleet management systems, smart explosives loading, things of that nature, to really bring all these disparate pieces of information together so then they can be tied to really the thing that controls it, and that's MineSight and its geology storage, assay storage, things of that nature. MSPM was designed knowing that going forward we're going to be working on different platforms. It is a standalone product, which is really beneficial when it comes to the lack of required assistance from the site or corporate IT staff. Eliminating that and relying on MSPM allows you to really have data and analysis that you need at your fingertips. One of the large mines where we've implemented this concept has publicly reported that they've saved $120 million over 3 years using this approach. But it would not have been possible without MineSight Performance Manager bringing in all the information, analyzing that, and giving them the capacity to see what impacts things have. Whether it's a gold ingot, a copper cathode, iron pellets, or metallurgical coal, it all starts with one thing, and that's the geology. Who owns that geology? MineSight owns that geology. From the geology, it goes through the grade assays. Who owns those? MineSight. We are gathering data from different operational types of systems and being able to take and tie everything together to what is truly the brain that controls the entire mining chain process is now doable. It's possible with MineSight Performance Manager. That was impossible before.